I want you to think about the major goals that you'd like to achieve in your life. I want you to think about them in three areas. Three areas. Number one, what's one personal goal that you have that you'd like to achieve? Two, what is some financial goal that you'd like to achieve? Some business goal that you'd like to achieve? Some social goal is the third one. What will be different because you were born? Horace Mann said we should be ashamed to die until we've made some major contribution to humankind. What will be different for you? My first major goal was to buy my mother a home. And I wanted to take care of my mother. My mother was a domestic worker on Miami Beach. And she was a determined person with a great deal of drive, a great deal of passion for what she did. She worked on Miami Beach. We ate the food left over from the families that she cooked for. These were very kind and generous people. They would say, Mamie, whatever food is left over after we eat, you pack it up and take it home to those 7 children that you have adopted. And we wore the hand-me-down clothes of the children that Mama kept. If they were too small, Mama could sew. She would let them out. They're too large, she would take them in. And my mama could bake too. Joy, my mama could bake a sweet potato pie so good, you couldn't eat it with your shoes on. You had to take your shoes off so you could wiggle your toes. And so I used to say, Mama, she said, what is it, boy? When I become a man, I'm going to buy you a big, beautiful home just like this. We worked for the Sidursky family. It was a 10,000 square foot mansion with a swimming pool on Miami Beach. And that was my fantasy. That was the goal. How many have somebody special you'd like to do something special for? Raise your hands, please. Very good. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that person that has blessed you. I'm thinking about a gentleman that I'll talk with today who's been a blessing in my life that I've been working with, and look forward to talking with him in 2 weeks as I go back to Miami to visit him as I do. He was a man that changed my life. I was in his class one day working, waiting on another student. He said, young man, go to board and work this problem out for me. I said, oh, sir, I can't do that. Why not? Sir, I'm not one of your students. Look at me. Yes, sir. Go to the board and work the problem out anyhow. I can't, sir. Why? Sir, because I'm educable mentally retarded. And the students started laughing. See, when I was in the 5th grade, I was identified as EMR, labeled educable mentally retarded. Put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade. I failed again when I was in the 8th grade. I don't have any college training, but because of my mother and because of this man, Mr. Leroy Washington, as the students started laughing, they said, he's DT. He said, what does that mean? He's the dumb twin. That's Leslie. That's not Wesley. And I said, they're right, sir. And he came from behind his desk. He looked at me. He said, don't ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. And that was a turning point in my life. On one hand, I was humiliated. But on the other hand, I was liberated. Because he looked at me with the eyes of Goethe, who said, look at a man the way that he is, he only becomes worse. But look at him as if he were what he could be, then he becomes what he should be. Now I want to ask you again, how many have major goals you want to achieve? Raise your hands, please. Very good. I want to ask you another key question. We heard a lot about super learning. I want to ask you something else that goes beyond that. How many of you know that if you had your life to live over again, you could have done more than what you've done thus far? Raise your hands, please. Very good. Now that proves a point that what we do and what we accomplish in life is only a tip of the iceberg of what's possible for us. So I'm going to share some things with you. I want you to shake someone's hand on your right and left, look them in the eyes and say with conviction, you have something special. Do that now, please.
You have something special. You have something special.
Do it to somebody around you and in front of you. Say, you have something special. Ladies and gentlemen, you have something special. You have greatness within you. When we think about CEO, I want you to write this down. Write down community. Community. Why it's important with this work that Bernie is doing. He's creating a community of achievement-driven people who are working to manifest their greatness. The reason that most people are stuck, and here are 3 primary reasons that most people never discover their greatness. Here's why what this work is so important, and you're showing up and you're being involved and engaged in this process. Is number 1, 3 primary reasons that I've found that most people are stuck. Number one, and write this down, most people don't know what they have going for them. This Les Brown that you see, for years I held him back. For 14 years, ladies and gentlemen, for 14 years, because I did not know the truth about myself, I was in bondage. I was living a life of mediocrity. We live in a world where we're told more about our limitations rather than our potential. I saw a movie with Tom Cruise. It's called Magnolia. Came in the middle, but that was just enough. There's a line in there that I won't forget. And the line was, we might be through with our past, but our past is not through with us. How many of you have gone through some stuff that still affects your present? Please raise your hands, please. Okay, and many of those things can unconsciously impact our lives. Studies indicating today that 70% of our self-talk goes undetected. I used to go see Zig Ziglar and Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, who wrote The Power of Positive Thinking. You have something special. You have greatness in you. Don't allow your negative thoughts to hold you back. Don't allow your circumstances to determine who you are. When Dr. Peale spoke, it gave me goose pimples. I remember one of my goals and dreams was to share the platform with him, and I had a chance to be with him in Kankakee. I went there and I was backstage. Og Mandino couldn't make an engagement, and I showed up there. And when I came to the back door, I said, "Hi, my name is Les Brown." And the person who answered the door said, "But you're not the band leader." I said, "No, I'm not." Well, who are you? I said, "I'm Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy." "Well, who's Mamie Brown?" I said, "My mama." And they took me to the dressing room. His wife, who just passed, Martha, a few weeks ago, she said, "Les Brown is here. It's not the band leader. It's Les Brown." And his back was to me, and he said, Les Brown, shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you'll land among the stars." Sir, that's my quote. I sent that to you when I was in the 11th grade. That's my quote. I wrote that. I was in a contest. You remember that? Yes, Mr. Brown. I end every speech with that quote. Sometimes you might find a marker, a bookmarker, or posters. That's my quote. He thought it was from the band leader, Les Brown, and Band of Renown. I used to go see Zig Ziglar, the #1 motivational speaker on the planet. He and Tony Robbins, they dominate the industry. Mark Victor Hansen, another icon, and Jack Canfield, and Jim Rohn, and my heart would say, I could do that. How many like to help people? Raise your hands, please. My heart would say, I could do that. And then my mind would ask, Les Brown, how would you do that? You don't have a college education. How would you do that? How would you speak for AT&T, Procter & Gamble, McDonald's Corporation, IBM, Xerox? You've never worked for a major corporation. You were labeled educable, mentally retarded. You don't even know who your parents are. You were put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade, failed again in the 8th grade. How many ever thought about something you wanted to do and you talk yourself out of it? Raise your hands, please. See, there's an African proverb that says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. So for 14 years, I procrastinated. For 14 years, I was on the sideline. For 14 years, I just watched. I silenced myself. Maya Angelou, I spent a day with her, and something she said, one of her quotes I loved. She said, most people go so far in life, and then they park. They park. I know why most people park. I had a goal and dream of having a talk show. It was canceled. I took a hit. I parked. I was married to someone that I thought we would be married for the rest of our lives. And we went through a divorce. I took a hit. I parked. My mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. My rock. I parked. I was diagnosed with prostate cancer and given a 2 to 3 year prognosis 14 years ago. I took a hit. My best friend died waiting on a liver transplant. I took so many hits, and I parked, and I didn't turn on my emergency lights because I didn't want to call attention to myself. I didn't want anybody to say, you need a jump. No, I don't need a jump. You need some cables? No. Are you out of gas? No, I still have a pulse. I'm parked. I'm parked. Anybody ever been parked before? People go to jobs they hate, 87% they hate, and at the same time they hope they don't get fired. That's what you call mixed emotions. Seeing somebody you hate drive off a cliff in your car. You're glad they're gone, but not in your car. Are you feeling, brother, up in here? I was parked. And so I would go to seminars, I would go to workshops, I was reading books, I was listening to motivational messages. I would see people doing what I wanted to do. And my conversation, the story that I told myself was, you can't do that. I convinced myself that I couldn't do it. So most people are stuck because they don't know what they have going for them. I didn't know what I had going for me. I only focus on the things that I had working against me. Am I making sense? Here's the other reason that most people are stuck. Most people don't know how to make money with their gift. I had the ability to speak, but I didn't know how to make money with my talent. I know people know how to write, but they don't know how to make money with their writing. I know people who have business skills, consulting skills, coaching skills, all type of ideas, all type of talents, abilities, and specialized knowledge, but they don't know how to make money with it. Why, once again, the CEO, a community of achievement-driven people, where through this cooperative, collaborative relationship, we can enlighten, we can empower, and we can help each other get to the next level. So most people don't know how to make money with what they have going for them. Here's the third reason that most people don't know how to do, and that is they don't know how to get access to the people that will pay them for what they know. Am I correct? Those are three reasons why people are stuck. One, they don't know what they have going for them. Two, they don't know how to make money with what they have going for them. Three, they don't know how to get access to the people that will pay them for what they know. This gentleman, his name, Seth Godin, you've heard him. They call him the world's greatest marketer. He said something. He said, becoming successful in business, it's about marketing, and marketing is not about making stuff. Marketing is about telling your story. I want you to write this down. Learn how to tell your story. I'm going to give you some things that you can use right now. See, ladies and gentlemen, life really boils down to stories. I started off telling you my story. I told you that I was born in an abandoned building on a floor in a poor section of Miami, Florida called Liberty City by a single woman by the name of Mrs. Mamie Brown. Mama only had a third-grade education. She was a domestic worker on Miami Beach. Why did I tell you this? Let me pause. Can I share some things with you right now? Very good. Right now, when you're speaking to someone and you're talking about your business, you're talking about your idea, you're talking about your proposal, you're talking about your invention, three things is going on in their minds. And you want to answer these three things. Number one, who are you? Who are you? Number two, what do you have? And three, why should I care? Now, most people don't answer those questions, and if you don't answer those questions in the course of your presentation with your business idea, with your products, with your services, with your skills, with your knowledge, if you don't do that, because, and write this down, people do business with people they know, they like, and they trust. So it's very important at the top you let them know who you are. So they make a decision, is this somebody that I want to do business with? Does that make sense? Okay, and now, and let me share this with you, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me on this. Your ability to tell your story in your business will allow you to achieve national and international branding. Will allow you, and I'm not telling you this because I believe this, I'm telling you this because I know, will allow you to earn millions of dollars. And that's what most people neglect. Most people spend very little time learning how to tell their story. We know about Mary Kay because Mary Kay knew the power of telling her story about being passed over for promotions numerous times, and she got sick and tired of that, and she decided to start her own company. And she told a story about the person who she bought the products from, and how his hands looked so young and fresh, and the products that he was making and creating. And she created a whole business around this concept for women, to empower women by telling her story. If you can tell your story, and I want to give you some steps that you can use right here, right now, how to tell your story. If anybody told me, given my circumstances and given my beginning, and I want you to think about your goals, think about the personal goal you want to achieve, your professional goal, and your social contribution. What will be different? What will your mark be? What will your legacy be? You have something special. You have greatness within you. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. Listen to me, listen to me. Everybody, if you don't do anything else, hold up your right hand, hold up your right index finger. Hold up your right index finger right now. If you watch, you're on the internet, watch, listen. If you don't do anything else, do this, your right finger, okay? Put it in your ear right now. Listen to me, you have greatness in you. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. You have something in you as you work to unleash it. The world will never be the same again. You have ideas in you, you have books in you, you have leadership in you, you have genius in you, you have miracle working power in you. Now take your hand out. The reason I did that, I didn't want it to go in one ear and out the other. It's in there now. It's in there now. All I have to do is water it and work with it. Now, let me share something with you. As you begin to look at your goals and dreams, let us say together with conviction, it's possible. Together, please. Say it like you mean it. How many of you know people who should be here? Raise your hands, please. There are people who should be here. They don't know that 67% of the jobs just in the United States alone by the year 2012 will be permanent part-time jobs with no health benefits. And even if you're working, you got to do 2 and 3 jobs to one paycheck, no additional compensation in pay. So as you begin to look at yourself, that as we begin to look at where we are, it's very important that people get the tools, have the support, have the relationships, and have access to the resources that will allow them to reinvent themselves. This is the age of self-reliance. As you got to be willing to die to who you are now to give birth to who you can become. I must die daily. Be ye not conformed to this world, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind and developing your power voice. That's what I call it. Your ability to speak from your heart, to impact people's minds and touch their hearts that will change their behavior. That's what happens when you come up into this kind of space and this kind of experience. Why is it important about our relationships? Let us say OQP. Only quality people. Only quality people. The value of being in a community of achievers. Sidney Poitier wrote a book called The Measure of a Man. He said, when you go for a walk with someone, something happens without being spoken. He said, either you adjust to their pace or they adjust to your pace. Whose pace have you adjusted to? Being around other people. Dr. Dennis Kimbrough said, if you're the smartest one in your group, you need to get a new group. I'm telling you what I know about changing your relationships. You got to look at your relationships and ask the question, what is this relationship doing to me? The most money, I'll give you an example. The most money, the value of being in this kind of a community, and some of the people that the faculty that have impacted my life. The most money that I've ever earned in an hour and a half is $260,000. Remember, I say that people fail, one, because they don't know what they have going for them, and they don't know how to make money with it, and they don't know how to get access to the people that will pay them for what they know. Through one of the faculty members of CEO Space, my relationship with them and the coaching from them, I spoke to 8,000 people, earned $260,000. I spoke to just over 500 people with them, and because of what I learned, because of that relationship, and because of what I saw other people doing, talking to just over 500 people, I earned $410,000. Most people are shrinking. See, you can't shrink your way into greatness. You have to expand your way into greatness. The reason that most people go to their graves with their greatness still in them, because they won't do what you did. They won't take a chance. They're playing it safe. They said, I can't afford to do it. You said, hey, I can't afford not to do it. They asked, how much will it cost? You say, well, how much will it cost me if I don't do it? If I had listened to my friends, I'd have never gone to executive development. Ed Foreman, on a Greyhound bus. I caught a Greyhound bus from Miami to Dallas, Texas, to go to a seminar like this. My friend said, you're stupid. Why would you go, Leslie? You're spending your last money. Why would you go? You've spent all your money trying to keep mom alive. Why would you go, Wesley? Why? I got to go. Leslie, you can go back to your job at Sears. They pay good benefits there. I can't make enough money working a job. Mama took care of us. She made a way out of no way. I'm going to make money on my dream. I'm leaving. What are you going to do? I'm going to learn how to speak. I like to help people. They've passed me up several times down there, told me to be a team player. Then they bring people in for me to teach them how to do what I do. And then they make them my boss. I'm not doing that anymore. Where are you going? Away from here. Sometimes you got to get up. You got to change territory. You got to make a decision. Let me tell you something here. You got to, see, let me tell you, and write this down. I'm going to repeat it 3 times. Life is a fight for territory. And once you stop fighting for what you want, what you don't want will automatically take over. Life is a fight for territory. And once you stop fighting for what you want, what you don't want will automatically take over. You got to fight for your health. You have to fight for your business. You have to fight for your relationships. Things are going to happen to you that you can't anticipate. Let us say together, it's possible. I can live my dream. It's necessary. Say it with conviction, it's necessary. See, ladies and gentlemen, those are the people who said with conviction. If you're casual about your dream, as Bill Bailey would say, you will end up a casualty. You got to fight for this dream. You got to say this dream is necessary. Why? Because when you have a goal, when you have a dream, think it not strange that you'll face the fiery furnaces of this world. You will have tribulations. You're going to get a visit from Murphy's Law. Who's Murphy? Don't worry. He's waiting for you in the parking lot. That if anything can go wrong, it will, and at the worst possible moment. That's why only 2% of the world live their dreams. Because they don't know you got to fight for the dream. It's not something where I would like to do it. You've got to say, this is necessary. Paul Robeson said, I stand here for I can do no other. I have got to speak. There's some of you here, you've got to do what it is you're doing. It's, as much as you have chosen it, it has chosen you. Why are you here? Warren Gresham, one of my colleagues, National Speakers Association, he was going across Europe at a time he was trying to find himself. He said soldiers boarded the train and woke up the sleeping passengers and asked, where have you been? Why are you here? And where are you going? And I ask you, where have you been with your life, with your dream, with your idea, with your invention, with your talent, with your gift, with your skill? And why are you here? Why did you invest your money? But more importantly, why did you invest your time to show up? And where are you going? Where are you going with your life? Where are you going with this dream? This thing that just won't let you sleep. Everywhere you turn, it's there. It's there, slapping you in the face, saying, answer me. Bring me to life. Let us say together, live full. Together, please join me. Live full. Die empty. I love to tell the story of Dr. Howard Thurman, who wrote, deep is the hunger, the voice of the genuine, the centering moment. During the time when I had 238 radiation seed implants and went to MD Anderson and Johns Hopkins Hospital and the James Cancer Center, the Mayo Clinic. Mr. Brown, your PSA is rapidly increasing. It's obviously has metastasized. It's gone beyond the capsule of your prostate, and there's nothing we can do. I remember reading the words of Dr. Howard Thurman, who was an advisor to Mahatma Gandhi and to Albert Schweitzer and to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He said, the ideal situation for a man, a woman to die is to have family members praying with them as they cross over. He said, but imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed, standing around your bed, the ghost of the dreams, the ideas, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, but you, for whatever reason, you never pursued those dreams. You never acted on those ideas. We never heard your voice. We never saw your leadership. You never wrote that book. You never performed that task. And there they are, standing around your bed, looking at you with large, angry eyes, saying, we came to you, and only you could have given us life. And now we must die with you forever. The question is, if you die today, what dreams, what ideas, what abilities, what inventions, what businesses, what leadership, what voice, what book, what artwork, what photography will die with you? Miles Monroe, great preacher out of the Bahamas, said the wealthiest place on the planet is not in the Far East where there's oil in the ground. It's not in South Africa where there are diamond mines. He said the wealthiest place on the planet is the cemetery. There you find potential never realized. Remind me, the poet said, many a flower has bloomed unceasingly and wasted sweetness upon the cold desert air. Many a talented and gifted persons have gone unnoticed, but because they had no resolve, because they were suffering from possibility blindness, they never gave themselves a chance to show the genius that they were chosen to show. Let us say together, it's possible. It's necessary. I detoxify my life. Yeah, see, many people never achieve their goals because they have too many energy-draining critics in their lives that sap their energy. To show you how powerful it is, my favorite book says, death and life is in the tongue. If I say to you, you can't do that, then somebody else has to come along and say, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, to neutralize that one time. John H. Johnson, who started Ebony Magazine, built a $400 million empire in Chicago with a $500 loan from his mother, and he fired his best friend. And somebody said, why you fired your best friend? He said, because he told me I couldn't do it. He said, hell, I didn't know I could do it. I didn't need anybody on my payroll to tell me that. Every day I had to convince myself. In my particular case, this Les Brown that you now see, I had to believe in Mike Williams' belief in me. Sometimes you have to believe in somebody's belief in you until your belief kicks in. And I'm saying to you, the world needs you. We need you to believe in yourself, to believe in your dream, to not give up, to see it through. We need you when you get knocked down to get back up. We need you when they say, no, you can't get the loan. No, we don't want that book. No, we don't think that's a good idea. We need you to keep coming back again and again and again and again. That's how I got here. Your dream. Don't you give up on that dream. And a dream, when will it happen? It will happen when it happens. When will a baby walk? It will walk when it walks, and some walk sooner than others. When will it talk? It will talk when it talks. That's when it'll happen. I tell you, I used to sleep on the floor of the Penobscot building in Detroit, Michigan, 21st floor. Used to bathe in the sink down the hall. Security said, Mr. Brown, the office managers would like to see you. Okay, I went in. Yes, how are you doing? Mr. Brown, this is an office complex. It's not a hotel, sir. What do you mean? 2 o'clock in the morning, the janitorial staff saw you running down the hall, sir, in your underwear, hiding in the closet, trying to escape them seeing you. I was just working late that night. See, during the good times, you put it in your pocket. During the tough times, you put it in your heart. Had a dream. It's tough, sleeping in my office. Had to get up early before my staff get there and say, all right, we're going to make it happen today. Yes, indeed. This is the day. We're going to do it. Had to keep, I was talking to them and I was talking to myself to keep my spirits up. Sometimes you have to encourage yourself.